The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this webinar on how to crack JEE Paper 2 and NATA in 45 days. Um, Firstly, we're very happy that all of you all have made it to this webinar. And over the next 2 hours, what we will do is we will help you create a 45-day plan and strategy that works for you, cover all topics in terms of and how to cover all topics in terms of priority, and we'll also have a Q&A session uh, to address your concerns and see if you need any clarifications for anything. So very happy that all of y'all are there online as of now. Now we're just waiting for a few more minutes till it becomes 6. Oh, it's already 6:30, so we can start off immediately, right? Um, right. So what we're going to do is over the next 2 hours, we're going to talk about NATA and JEE Paper 2. Firstly, if you have any questions, there's a small questions pane that y'all can type your questions in. I hope y'all can find the question pane. It's in the bottom of your panel, of the webinar panel. If you can hear me, firstly, I would like all of you to type in yes. Okay, so I am getting quite a few yeses, and I'm guessing. Just one second, Umesh, you'll have to mute them. Yeah. So good evening, Preeta. So, so that's fine. I hear that a lot of you are. Sorry, let me just silence my call. Right. So, firstly, I need to understand a question. Before I take your question, Anisha, I would like to understand how many of you all have signed up for JEE Paper 2, which is in January. So we have JEE Paper 2 done twice this year, once in January, and once the next one is going to be in April. So you can't see my PPT. Shraddha, can you see my screen? You're not able to see my screen. Okay, okay, fine. So I'm getting quite a few yeses that a lot of y'all have you signed up for the JEE Paper 2 in January. So glad. Some of you are saying that you've signed up for Jan, but you're more keen on the April one. Okay. So what we recommend is that you attend for both. Take both attempts, both in January as well as April. And Anisha has also posted a question: is NATA 2019 going to be held twice this year? The answer to that is yes. The Council of Architecture president has given a statement in the newspaper saying that this will be held twice. NATA will be held twice this year. His statement says once in April and once in July, but the dates have not been finalized. I do expect, again, this is my personal opinion, that I do expect it to be in June and may not be July, but it should be during that time, right? Some of you are not able to see my screen. A couple of Yes, there is no official notice yet. It is only a statement given to the media. For those who cannot see my screen, just a second. Yeah, can you see my screen now? Yeah, all right, fine, fantastic. So now, right. So on this webinar, what we're going to cover today on the 19th of November is how to crack NATA and JEE Paper 2 in 45 days. Primarily for the people who are taking the January round of JEE Paper 2, we're going to give you a good strategy, so look out for this. We have today Mr. Umesh Kumar GL. Umesh is the founder of DQ Labs, and Umesh has mentored over 10,000 students to crack design entrance exams. So it's design and architecture and fashion, and so Umesh is an expert at cracking entrance exams. He himself cracked seed. He is an architect by profession. He is also a designer. So as an architect, he was a topper of his university when he did his architecture, Andhra University. And then he worked for a few years as an architect before he did his masters in design from IIT Delhi. In IIT Delhi, he was a topper as well, rank one of his batch. He did his masters in industrial design and got into the automobile industry. Um, he worked with General Motors here in Bangalore, and with General Motors, he was working with a design cell which worked on GM's global projects. So the Hummers, the Buicks, the Cadillacs, the Holdens, all the General Motors brands he's worked on through his career with General Motors. He moved on from General Motors to Jaguar to Hyundai Kia Motors in the US, and then from there to Jaguar Land Rover in the UK. So again, he comes with tremendous experience. He's been extremely passionate about education, and he, along with Shaun, have started DQ Labs, and they are the brains behind DQ Edge, the learning platform, which we will talk about. So over to Umesh, and hope all of y'all benefit. Please type in your questions in the questions pane. Some of us will try and answer the questions for you on the back end, and Umesh will take as many questions as he can while through the webinar. Okay, thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Okay.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay.
Right. Okay. Fine. So what I was saying is, if you have not yet logged into the Edge account, so please go to edge.eqlabs.in and log in, and come on to the NATA preparation page. All right. So I'll help you how to navigate through this and how you can prepare in the next 45 days. All right. And secondly, from this year onwards, JEE Paper 2 and NATA both will be organized twice a year. So it's a fantastic opportunity for you to take all the 4 attempts, and best of 2 is what they're gonna take up, and which is really good, because in the first attempt you get an experience of how you have done, and in the second attempt you can really, do it fairly well. Okay, so I hope all of you can hear my voice now. Right. So the notification for the NATA has not come yet. Okay, but for JEE Paper 2 has come. So let us refer that for now for this particular seminar. In fact, the syllabus for NATA and JEE Aptitude, the Paper 2, is almost the same. It's almost the same. It's just that JEE paper has been very structured and has not been changed quite recently. In fact, last 10-15 years, the question pattern is the same. Okay, and you can easily predict what kind of questions they would ask in JEE Paper 2. But whereas NATA has been changing its pattern, they're experimenting with their methods. Okay, so it's very difficult to predict what kind of questions they ask in NATA. Okay, but in JEE Paper 2, it is fairly straightforward. All right. Okay, so Paper 2 of JEE has 2 sections, or I can say 3 sections. One is the computer-based test, and other is the drawing test, which is offline mode. We have to take offline mode. Okay, so the first part has got two components. One is pure mathematics, all right, and the second part is the mental ability and architectural awareness of the person. All right. And then the part 3 is the drawing test. Okay, so part 1 and part 2 is a computer-based test, all right, for B.Arch and B planning. And the third one, which is a drawing test, part 3, is pen and paper based test. It's an offline test. Okay, so the syllabus for part 1 and part 2 are pretty clear on their websites. Okay, so you can quickly go through that. Yeah, they have broadly written that information, but I want to help you concise all this information for you to understand and for you to prepare thoroughly. Okay, so if you look into the syllabus, what they have given: awareness of persons, places, buildings, materials, objects, textures related to architecture and built environment, visualizing 3-dimensional objects from 2-dimensional drawings, visualizing different sides of 3-dimensional objects, analytical reasoning, mental ability, visual, numerical, and verbal. All that is part 1. Okay, and then part 2, 3-dimensional perspective, understanding and appreciation of scale, proportion, objects, building forms and elements, color, texture, harmony, and contrast, design and drawing of geometrical and object abstract shapes and patterns in pencil, transformation of forms, both 2D to 3D, union, subtraction, rotation, development of surfaces and volumes, generation of plan, elevation, 3D views of objects, creating 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional compositions using given shapes and forms. Okay, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand all this in simple format. Okay. So they also have a sketching session where they say sketching of scenes and activities from memory of urban scape. public space, market, festival, street scenes, monuments, recreational spaces, etc. Landscape, river fronts, jungles, gardens, trees, plants. All right, so this is what the syllabus as per the JEE paper. Now, if you want to understand this in a more simplified form, okay, so what I suggest is, I hope you all have logged into Edge. Okay, so when you log into Edge, there are like learn and take a test. If you click on learn, if you can see all the various modules at a broader, at a high level. So you have mathematics, then you have architectural awareness, visual spatial ability, mental ability, analytical reasoning, English, okay, and then design sketching. Okay, so these are the broad level of topics. Now, if you click further, for example, on architectural awareness, you can further understand the other topics like, it is loading, just a minute. So Samiksha is asking, is there time distribution for maths, aptitude, and drawing sections separately in JEE exam? Is there time distribution for, it's the same question, yeah. So yes, there is specific time distribution, all right. So they give almost 1 hour, nearly 1.5 hours for the mathematics and aptitude, and the remaining 1.5 hours for the drawing sections. Okay, so there is a specific demarcation. So you cannot start your drawing section first. You will have to complete your online test. Okay, then they will say, okay, now you stop, you close, you submit, and then you open the docket for the drawing. So it's not that if you finish your math and aptitude quickly, then you can go on to the drawing part. No. So whatever time is allocated for you, you will have to carefully spend that amount of time for the respective section. Okay. All right. Okay, so if you click on architectural awareness, you can see here various topics like building elements, building technology, famous architects and their works, famous buildings, textures, miscellaneous topics, materials, color theory. This is exactly what they are trying to ask in their second paper 1, right? So for example, awareness of persons, places, buildings, materials, objects, textures related to architecture, built environment. All right, so all that comes under the architectural awareness. Okay, so for example, if you go into building elements, and you may say that, okay, building elements, what would you study in building elements, right? So we have further subdivided the building elements topic into more granular subtopics. Okay. Why is this not loading? It's not loading. It's pretty bad. All right, so okay, it's taking a little time for the website to load. Anisha, yes, so there was a recent notification in the newspapers that what they have observed in the previous JEE papers is students were scoring less in the drawing section. Okay, so what they have done is they have reduced the amount, they have changed the amount of time. So now for the theory part is about 60 minutes. Okay, and the drawing part is for about 120 minutes, so it is totally 90 minutes, which is a 3-hour test. Okay, they have mentioned it in newspapers and all, but they have not. I have not come across a document where they have specifically mentioned like, okay, this time to this time is this, and this time to this time is this. I'm just waiting for that information. So once that is there, we will send notifications to all the students who are taking the exam. Okay. Please ask Nishad if there is a problem in the loading edge. Okay.
Internet problem.
Our side, I cannot proceed before without that. All right. So, are you guys able to load DQH on your computers? If you're all able to access, then can you just go to the architectural awareness and then building elements? You may not be able to further click on the topics, but you can see the outline of the topics, what all topics are there, right? Okay, so Anisha is saying, sir, part A is a bit tough. There are 60 questions in part A. It's not possible to complete 60 questions in 60 minutes. It is possible. It is not impossible. Okay, because for example, you have questions like general knowledge and all. Okay, so they would not take more than 20-30 seconds. You know, so that all will be very easy to answer. What is difficult is the math questions. I hope they will reduce the tone of mathematics this year, because generally it is like little high-level mathematics they ask, and they may also reduce the number of questions of mathematics. There are generally 20 questions of mathematics, but this time they may reduce it further. Okay. Yes, Anisha, I can help you give some suggestions on how to solve questions quickly and solve the questions perfectly. In fact, DQ Edge is conceptualized for that purpose, to help you identify and categorize the questions, whether to attempt, not to attempt, or save for later time, and all that. So we are going to help you on that aspect as well. Okay, so please wait for that particular session to happen this time. Okay. So Rakshita is asking, can we attempt drawing section and then aptitude and math section in NATA? See, last year they have made it as a OMR based test. Okay, NATA. So it was not online test. So this year we need to basically wait and see if they are doing it online, or like if they are doing it completely paper based for NATA. Okay. So if it is a completely paper-based thing, then you will have complete control on how it can be done. Okay. But if it is an online test, absolutely you will not have any control. They will say start, stop, and then start, stop for the drawing session, and they will decide which one should go first and which one should go next. Okay. If you want to ask any questions, you will have to type in your chat window. All right. You'll have to chat in the type in the chat window, and then you can read out. Okay. You're able to log in? No, I'm able to log in, but nothing is opening in Edge. Okay.
Mine is open.
D-Link.
No, connect to you.
Okay, can you share your screen then?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Yeah, please share your screen and go to the architectural awareness part. All right, so you will be able to find the chat window. I'll tell you where to find the chat window. There is a little vertical bar associated with this webinar. Okay, so there you can see your hand or ask a question. Okay, so please click on that. All right, so now you should be able to see the screen. We are trying to share the on screen. So can you go to learn, or should I come there?
But then you have to present your PPT and all that.
No to click like that. Okay. Fine, just hold on, guys. All right. So I hope you all can meet. You all can hear me. Yes. Yes. All right. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the architectural awareness. And here you see building elements, the various subtopics. So let us click on the building elements, which is a free topic. So here you can see all the building elements categorized into specific uh, chapters based on the alphabetical order. All right. So let us click on, let us say, building elements A to C. Okay. So these are all the building elements that you should be learning about. Okay, so what we do on DQ Edge is we collate all this information, we give all the graphics and the text, the relevant text for the graphic that you should be knowing, so that we know that architects are visual learners. And if you have to go on to net and search for abacus, you'll get million results. And how would you know what to study? You'll be wasting a lot of time going there and studying there, right? So on DQ Edge, we have collated all that information and concisely, nicely visually represented for you to study quickly. All right. Okay. So this is what is available on DQH for you to study for architectural awareness. Similarly, all the topics, all the other topics are also given. So I have given you just an example of architectural awareness. So if you go for, let us say visual spatial ability. So again, under visual spatial ability, there are multiple topics like counting of figures, mirror and water images, 2D shape perception, development of surfaces, counting cubes, 2D verbal translation, 2D, 3D, 3D, 2D identification, sciography, counting of edges and surfaces, platonic solids. So you can go to these topics and you can further study them. Alright, so everything is concisely given along with the techniques and how do you do that and etc. Okay. So that is about the content of DQH. And if you're talking about the syllabus and what topics they will be asking, you can get it from the course page. Okay, if you go to mathematics, for example, you can actually see all the topics that are being asked, like logarithms, algebra, matrices, coordinate geometry, 2D and 3D, trigonometry, theory of calculus, sets and relations, shares, partnerships, mensuration. Alright, so all these topics you can go through them. Now, so that is regarding the syllabus. Okay. Now, the most important thing is how do you prepare for this JEE Paper 2 or NATA exams in a very limited duration of time. So you have other exams to prepare for, and whatever time you have to focus them. Pinpointed focus, and you should not be wasting time, and you should be learning, and you should be speeding up your learning, and you need to apply it, and you need to cross check if your learning is correct or wrong. Okay, so how do you do that? So for that, what is required is you need to have a good mentor. Okay, a mentor that knows how you prepare, the mistakes that you make, and etc., so that it can he or she or it can give you feedback in terms of improving the areas which are very very relevant for you. Okay, so that we do here on DQ Labs through DQ Edge. Okay, so what I suggest all of you, I know that you must be preparing since last 1 year or 2 years, preparing for this exam, going through the many different materials, maybe for coaching classes and etc. Or you may be coming to DQ labs. But every student will still have a question like, okay, what is that topic that I should be focusing on so that I can improve my marks by at least 10 points or 20 points? You know, do you all have such a kind of a question? You all want to know what is that particular topic that you should be focusing on so that you can improve your score? Yes? Yeah? Yes. So this is what we would do. Okay, so you see here, learn and take a test. All right, so click on take a test. Okay, so if you click on take a test, all right, so here you can see two tabs: past year questions and all India NATA mock test questions. And then you also see one bar. This we call as a suggestion bar. Okay, so where you see few topics, and you also see one big topic highlighted in a big box. Okay, so this suggestion box is a very unique, personalized, actionable insight box which will basically analyzes all your studying and your attempts on DQH, and it will give you personalized insight saying that this is the topic you should be focusing on to improve your score. All right. Now, when you log in as a new student, when you create your account, you would not see any of this suggestion box. It will be blank here. There won't be. In fact, the suggestion box would not exist. All right. Um, but what happens is, let us say, I would want all of you to do this after this seminar. Okay. I would want you to click on All India NATA mock test questions. The first mock test is free. Alright, and first mock test is actually been powered by Anant National University. They have a beautiful architecture program. So they have created this mock test. It's an all-India mock test. It's a very nice mock test. So what I would want you to do is answer this mock test. Alright, so click on it. You will have section 1 and section 2. Okay, see section 1 and section 2. Section 1 is the 60 questions for the theory part, and then section 2 is the drawing questions. Alright, so now once you attempt this particular test, automatically the suggestion box will appear. Okay, okay, I'm waiting for this to load. Yes, this suggestion box will appear. Now, based on my performance, based on the topics that I have done well, not done well, taken more amount of time, maybe I have guessed, maybe I have used a formula. Based on all of that, compared with the weightage of individual questions and the importance of the individual questions, this suggestion is created. Okay, so what you do is once you take a mock test, you get the suggestions. What you do is click on that suggestion. It will go on to that particular topic. Okay, for example, let's say click on trigonometry. Let's say the marker is done. Say that marker is done. So you get a trigonometry, for example. So you click on trigonometry, and it will take you to the trigonometry coursework. So there you study through all the basic concepts and do a prep quiz, practice quiz, and then you tick mark that you have studied through this nicely, and then you say mark as done. What happens is automatically it will give you the next topic. Now for me, after trigonometry, the next topic is building materials. So again, click on the building materials, and then it will tell you these are all these various stuff that you should be knowing. Once you finish that, alright, so we have to go back to mock test. So once you finish that, again click on mark as done. So whenever it suggests some topic, it will also tell you why it is suggesting. For example, here, out of 10 questions, 6 questions were left unattempted. So these architectural awareness questions, this particular person has not attempted. So it is saying, okay, it is very much important that you spend enough time in learning this architectural awareness so that next time in the next mock test, any question that you get, you can actually attempt and gain marks. All right. So once you finish that, click on mark as done, and then you get front and top view. And why? Because again, out of 11 questions, 9 questions were left unattempted. So click on that, it will take you to that particular topic, study through that, say mark as done, and go back to the take a test, and then say that mark as done here also, so that it will give the next suggestion. Okay, so it's a very simple, efficient process. You don't have to ask anybody else what you should be focusing on. The moment you start taking tests here, you can actually get these suggestions, and it will help you navigate through the entire content. The quicker you complete these suggestions and go to the next mock test, the quicker you will be preparing for the exam thoroughly. And before you take next mock test, ensure the suggestion box is completely empty, and only then you go for the next mock test. Do the same process after you finish next mock test, complete all the suggestions, and then go to the next mock test, third mock test. So if you do that, we have 10 mock tests, and if you do one after the other in that fashion, by the 10th mock test, you'll be more confident. You'll be getting more marks. You will not be doing any silly mistakes, and you would have completed a majority portion of the coursework. All right. Okay. So, if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Okay. How to prepare for math sections of NATA and JEE Main 2, being a Tamil Nadu State Board student. So, Shivani, so the syllabus is pretty much the same. Okay, the syllabus is pretty much the same as the CBSE syllabus. You also will be studying the state board. Now they are making the state board and CBSE syllabus is also it's almost the same. Okay, so if you go to the learn section here, and if you click on the mathematics, we have got all the important concepts and topics covered, whatever is required for you in this. So apart from your regular mathematics textbook, this Edge would be a great reference for you. So after you study through these concepts, what we recommend you to do is take a prep quiz, then a practice quiz, and then the review test. You do all these three thoroughly, and you try to get 100 out of 100 on all these three, and you don't have to refer any other material. Okay. Alright, so that is for the mathematics question. And Shambhavi, hello, so my question is that what are the maximum marks to score in NATA and JEE paper 2? Oh, the maximum marks you can score is the limit that they give you. So I did not particularly understand this question. Are you asking about the marks breakup, or I did not understand? So Shambhavi is asking again. My question is, what are the maximum marks to score in NATA exam? The same question you are asking. So I really don't understand. So drawing. So they have a breakup. All right. So the NATA exam is for 200 marks. 120 is for the theory. 80 is for the drawing. So these are the maximum marks that you can score. And if you're really good, they give you those maximum marks. Okay, but you have to really perform well in your exam. Okay. What is considered as a good score in NATA and JEE? So NATA scores matter. JEE scores does not matter. What matters is your rank. Okay? Because after your test in JEE, they give you a rank. Nobody cares about the marks. Okay, for JEE. For NATA, marks are important because you have to submit your NATA marks to your respective boards along with your 12th marks to your respective counseling centers, sorry, not boards, okay, to the admission centers. They take 50% of NATA score, 50% of board score. So there the NATA marks are important. So what is a good score is basically any score above 150 is an excellent score. Any score between 150 and 120 is a good score. Any score between 100 and 120 is average score. Any score below 100 is like below average. Alright. So the highest score so far was about 172 out of 200. That was a very, very excellent score. It was scored by Purnima Subramanian, a DP Lab student. It's a very tough score to achieve. Okay, that's the excellent score. Right. Okay. So, next question is use of scale allowed in JEE mains paper 2? Absolutely not. You are not allowed to use a scale in the exam. Okay, so please don't take a scale for the exam. Instead, what can be used instead of a scale is your hall ticket. Okay, so hall ticket, fold it to half and you get a straight edge and you can use that. Okay. All right. So, see what happens is if you use the scale. Okay, so some exam centers they allow you to use the scale. Some exam centers they don't allow you to use the scale. Okay, it is very unfair because the examiner, the people who are conducting the exam do not know what is allowed, what is not allowed. But I strongly recommend do not use scale. As an architect, nobody appreciates drawings done by scale. If you use freehand drawing and even if the drawing is little shaky and etc., it looks in fact beautiful. Okay, so don't use scale. When you are practicing at home, try to use a paper edge, a folded paper edge as a scale for measurement, not for drawing lines, for measurements. In fact, you may ask why it is required for measurement. Sometimes there could be some questions where you are asked to enlarge a given drawing 2.5 times or reduce a drawing by 3 times and etc. So for that, measurement is required. For that, you may use your sheet edge. Okay, but please try to avoid using scale. Okay. Krati Garg is asking, sir, if we say 15 minutes from theory, can we use that time for main paper in paper 2? In paper 2, absolutely not, because it is the first part of paper 2 is a computer-based test. So they will give you a start time and an end time. So even if you save time in the paper, the first part, you cannot carry over the time for drawing. No, it is not possible. Okay. Uh, okay. Do they take NATA scores for admission in NITs? No. They take only JEE paper 2 scores for admissions in NITs, not NATA scores. Okay, so Krishna Priya. Vinayak is asking how much time should I spend for my preparation for JEE B.Arch, keeping in mind that I'm in 12th grade and how to keep everything on track. It's a fantastic question by Vinayak Tiwari. So, Vinayak, the answer to your question is please take a test on Edge, complete the suggestions before you take the next mock test, you will understand how much time you require for your preparation. Okay, if you follow this simple trick, this simple advice that we are giving you, that is enough. The advice is log on to Edge, take a test, get the suggestions, complete those suggestions before you take the next mock test. Time yourself how much time you are taking to finish all the suggestions. As you go forward, the suggestions will reduce, and the amount of time that you require to complete the suggestions will also get reduced, so you'll get a clear picture. Okay. See, there are two ways of preparing for an exam. One is the regular way what all the students does. They take all the textbooks, all the material. They start from page 1 and they go to page 2 and page last page, and they try to mug up everything from right page 1 to last page, and they try to prepare like that. And that method will, it's a cumbersome method. It may take 2 months, it may take 6 months, depending on how well you're able to grasp the material and remember that material. That is a regular way of preparation. Now there is another way of preparation, which is a smart way of preparation. What is a smart way of preparation? Okay, trying to know what topics we should be focusing on to improve the score. Ultimately, what is required? You need to have a high score in the exam. The examiner does not care how much portion you know. Okay, the counseling persons, the admission persons, they don't care how much knowledge you have. What matters is how well you answer these questions in the exam. For that, whatever is required, you have to do. That is smart preparation. So how would you know whatever is required? So somebody will have to tell you that you have to focus on this, you have to focus on that, etc., etc. That is exactly what we are doing through DQH. We will exactly tell you what you have to focus on. So let us say 6 months of preparation can be reduced to 30 days by using our methodology on DQH. So that is the advantage that we give to all our students who use our material. Okay, so this is the unfair advantage. That is the reason you can see that most of our students score really well in these design entrance exams. We get top scores, top ranks all through the years. We are in existence since 2006. It's almost the 12th year now. And this last 12 years, we have many students joining these SPAs, NITs, and all the top premier schools because they're able to thoroughly prepare with our methodology and they're able to get their scores. Okay, so this is the way you have to prepare in a short duration of time. Okay, Vinayak, I hope that answers your question. Okay, so Akila, I have answered this question as well. How we can score better in mathematics and drawing? Nisha, okay. Last year, drawing marks was was filled with technical errors. Results were declared 3 times. Is there any chance that the technical errors of the last year won't repeat this year? There is absolutely no guarantee. Okay. It is organized by Council of Architecture. They basically outsource the work for a third party. So it depends on who is organizing the test or what kind of measures they are taking to do that. So these kind of errors may happen. Okay. Yeah, Dion wants to add some information.
Yeah, so we have seen that these errors happen in the NATA especially. Since 2006, we've seen very similar issues happening in every NATA. Um, so what we do recommend is that you maximize your chances of their errors by answering as many tests as possible. So here you have an opportunity where you can where you can answer JEE paper 2 twice and NATA twice. So I think the best thing to do is to take advantage of these opportunities. So you have 4 attempts, and that's where the chance of errors will be much lower, or rather they'll take the best of those 4 scores. And unlike last year where they took only the best of either JEE Paper 2 or NATA. That was just 2 scores. This year you have the best of 4 scores, so you can use that to your advantage.
Okay. So somebody is asking, does the CET score added onto the NATA score? Absolutely not. There is no relationship between the CET exam and the NATA exam and the scores as well. They only take your NATA score and your board scores. That's all. Okay. Fine. Next question, Lakshita Singhi. How to do analysis of drawing practice questions for the one who is preparing by self? How we are able to know whether we are drawing good? Very good question. So for that, what I suggest is soon we are going to have a tool on DQ Edge where you can upload your questions, whatever drawing questions that you have made, you can upload, and it can be evaluated by the experts. Okay, and you would know how many marks you can score and etc. It's going to be launched in another 15 days. Okay, so that facility is there. And other option is you can log on to natasketches.com. Okay, it's called natasketches.com. Okay, so here we keep uploading a lot of student works, evaluated work of students, along with feedback in terms of whether it is the drawing is good, what are the mistakes in the drawings, how they can improve, and etc. So I would recommend you to log on to natasketches.com. Okay, it is loading, it is still loading here, and go through all the feedback that is given to them. Okay, you can also open this particular website on your computers and check. Like you see that Purva Kale from Mumbai, so she has done this drawing. Okay, so if the drawing is like this, okay, so how many marks you can expect? So you can expect about 20 to 25. And also suggestion like, okay, don't draw the shadow in front of the objects. Don't draw the shadow in front of the objects. The shadow always have to go back. Light has to be in the front. Alright, so all these we evaluate student works. Currently we upload them on natasketches.com, but soon um, we'll be having this facility on DQ Edge itself. Alright. Okay, so you can use these sketches to benchmark yourselves on how you are doing your work. Okay, so I hope that answers Rakshita's question. Okay, can we use blending stumps for shading? Anushka. Yes, Anushka, you can actually use them, but generally what happens is the people who are organizing these tests, the physical centers, they are like they're not architects. Okay, so there are some staff of that particular college who have no idea of how things will be done. So if you're using blending stumps in the exam, you use it calmly, you don't flash them saying that, hey, see, I'm using this, because they don't know what it is and they will say, okay, this is not allowed. Okay, but you can use blending stumps. If not, you can use a small piece of cotton, or you can use a small paper. You can tear the paper of your hall ticket and you use that for uh, blending of the graphite on the sheet and etc. All right. Okay. Vinayak Tiwari, is MIT Pune good for architecture? I'm not sure if MIT Pune has architecture. They have design, that I know. They have architecture. Okay, I'm not very sure about that. I have not heard of MIT Pune having architecture, but design they have. It is well known for that. Okay. Next question is uh, brochure of JEE paper में into states that a candidate has to carry geometry box in the exam. Mukul, are you sure about that? If they have said that it is mandatory, okay, you can take your geometry box, but I'm not very sure. Okay, so below JEE mains paper 2 syllabus, you showed there was a note saying that we can take geometry box. Let me just cross verify. Hold on a minute. Okay, all geometry boxes, lasers, references, and files for the Alright, yes, in the brochure they have mentioned that you can take geometry box set, so you can definitely for JEE paper 2 you can take, but in the hall ticket also you have to cross check. Sometimes they also mention it clearly what all you have to take it in the exam, so please cross check with the hall ticket as well. If they are allowing it, no problem, please go ahead and use it, but I prefer you to ensure that practice without using a geometry box. Okay. Hassan is asking which is the top ranked architecture college in Bangalore and how much rank we should take to get seat in that college. The top architecture colleges in Bangalore are the big threes: RV, BMS, MS Ramaya, and you should be having a CET rank of below 100. Alright, you have to get a rank of below 100, then you should be able to get them. Okay. Uh, okay, how many minimum questions one should attempt in JEE mains paper 2 math? Um, so it's generally, so when it was, so last year and this year is going to change. You see, this year they're going to ask only 60 questions in the JEE paper 2 for the theory, right? So I don't know how they're going to section it. Maybe 45 plus 15, 15 for mathematics and 45 for general ability or architectural awareness and etc. Generally, you should get about 30%, 30 to 40% of them correct to qualify. Okay. Uh, okay. Mukul is asking. 1 minute. Do you have your charger? Okay. So Mukul is saying how much marks one should have to score in JEE paper to get a AR of under 100. You should score about 250 out of 300. Okay, to get an AR of 100, 1000. Okay. Um, Next question is which college do you prefer, NITs or private colleges? Why should one go for NITs? In fact, I would not recommend NITs. Students from NITs are doing good. Okay, but the only problem is they have creative restriction on the creative freedom. You know, because it's a technology college. Okay, so that's the issue. You see, autonomous colleges are much better, like SPA or CEPT, where they give you a lot of creative freedom. Okay, you have to explore your interests and all that. Okay. Um, how is architecture course in Christ University in Bangalore and also at Nursing Munji, Mumbai? Okay. Christ has got very good faculty. Okay, but it's a very new college, though. Okay, but they have good faculty, so you don't have any feedback in terms of how the courses are going on. Faculty is good. The college in Mumbai it is pretty good, so if you get a chance, you can definitely join that. Mm, okay. On which section first will our JEE paper 2 will be evaluated? Is the drawing section given first priority? No, equal priority for both. Okay, so they give equal priority for both. So evaluation you don't have to basically worry about. Okay, but very important thing is please try to complete all the questions within the given time. This is the most common mistake student does. Okay, so they put in a lot of effort in one question and ignoring the other question. They'll get 5-10 minutes to finish the other question. It's a big danger. Please do not do such mistakes. Okay, give equal amount of time based on the weightage for the questions, question marks. If a particular question is, let us say they give two questions. One question has got 60 marks, another question has got 40 marks, and they give you 2 hours of time. So you don't spend one hour each for each of these questions. You spend equivalent amount of time based on the marks, weightage of the marks. Okay. So Rutvik is asking when you are going to evaluate my sketch. Rutvik, if you are a DQ Lab student and if you have submitted your sketches to sketch evaluation dqlabs.in, they would be evaluated within 24 hours and they'll be sent it back to you. Okay. What are all the books we could refer for NATA and JEE paper 2? Shivani, you don't have to refer any other book. The only book that you should refer is edge.dqlabs.in because it has got all the information, exact information, authentic information that you need to follow and prepare. You don't have to refer any other book. Okay. All right. So Sagar, you are trying to ask the question, you are unable to. So I hope you figured how to ask the question. So please type in the chat window and we will answer the question. Okay. So Vinayak Tiwari, JJ School of Architecture is still good. It is a fantastic school. Please go ahead and join. Vinayak. Anisha is asking how to get full course of DQ Labs. I really want full course of DQ. So Anisha, I will ask one of our counselors to talk to you. So after this webinar, they will call you back and they will help you out. Okay. So Leah is asking, is MIT good? If you're talking about MIT Manipal, it is pretty good. The only issue I feel personally with MIT is that it's in a very remote location, right? It is in Mangalore. For any kind of a work, let us say you're doing a case study of a five-star hotel, so you have to run to Bangalore, or a multi-specialty hospital, okay, or an international airport, or a tall building, okay, multi-story building. So for every small thing, you have to run to Bangalore. So that is the only constraint I see. But otherwise, MIT is a good institute. There are so many well-known architects come out of MIT, so it's a pretty good school, except for this particular problem. Okay. So Rakshita, is there any compulsion of being a Maharashtrian to get into JJ School of Architecture? Absolutely yes. There are very few seats for outsiders, and it is very tough for outsiders to get into JJ. So you have to be a domicile of Maharashtra. Okay? Nikita, what to keep in mind while writing JEE paper 2 since it is negatively marked? Beautiful question, Nikita. Okay, so JEE paper 2 is negatively marked. So if you're not sure of your answer, then better not answer that question. Now, how do you know? So sometimes, see, there are three ways of answering a question, right? So you apply a formula and you get an answer, and you look that answer in answer choices. That answer is there, so you go ahead and you pick that answer. Second thing is you don't see that answer in that, so what you do is you educated guess. You eliminate the answer options. Maybe you'll go with the answer that is closer to the answer that you have arrived at. That is elimination. The third thing is random picking. So in JEE paper 2, definitely you should not do random picking. What you can do is pick the answer only if you know. Pick the answer only if you are sure that that could be a particular answer. Now, how do you evaluate which strategy is working for you? Let us say these are like three different strategies. using a formula, elimination, and random picking. These three strategies. So how do you know which strategy is working for you, right? So if you're answering your mock test on any other platform, you would not know how the strategies are working for you. But on DQ Edge, you can exactly know which strategy is working for you. Is applying a formula working for you? Is elimination working for you? And etc. Because we have the technology, we use the pending technology to capture that information for you and give you that analysis. Dion is going to further explain you on that. So through that insight, you can actually know whether a question, when you're answering that question, can you go with the elimination option or you should not pick that answer. So this insights, this kind of exclusive insights we give on DQH. So when you do this 10 mock tests, as you start attempting mock test after mock test, you will clearly understand, your intuition will be built. For a particular kind of a question, if you're not able to find the answer correctly, your intuition will say, oh my god, don't go for elimination, because this has proven to be a wrong strategy for you in the past. So don't go for that. So that way you can actually save and gain marks. So I would strongly recommend all the students to log on to Edge and practice and use that Edge, because this is a wonderful platform to prepare for these exams, this kind of an exams. Okay. So hope Nikita, I have answered your question. All right. Okay. Sir, can you please tell us more about NATA being conducted 4 times? I don't know who has asked this question, but no, NATA has not been conducted 4 times. NATA has been conducted 2 times, JEE paper 2 times. So totally 4 times you have. All right. Sagar, how to get good score in mathematics? All right. So Sagar, you should have good fundamentals in mathematics. Okay, that is number one. Secondly, you should understand what kind of questions they ask in the mathematics part. Okay. Number three, you should know how you can quickly answer those questions under a minute. Number five, you need to have great practice, extensive practice. Okay. Number six, and most important, now there are say 10 topics in mathematics. You should be focusing on that particular topic where you are finding it difficult. See, most students, what they generally do is generally feel is that they have a favorite subject. Okay, out of these 10 topics, let's say logarithms is your favorite. Okay, so you spend all your time in practicing logarithms and not doing coordinate geometry. I'm giving as an example. And in your mind, in your subconscious mind, you always feel that, see, I'm spending a lot of time in mathematics, so I would do well, you know or there could be a few, 3 or 4 topics you think that you have done it, you have studied it really well, and you don't have to further study it, but in actual reality you may be fumbling to answer those questions in reality. Okay, so all these kind of insights you get to know when you actually practice all those questions on DQH. DQH will tell you which topic you are fumbling, which topic you are having great difficulty, which kind of a questions you are finding or you're taking more time to answer, which kind of a question if you get don't answer immediately. All these kind of insights, great insights, DQH will give you. So please log on to DQH, learn from DQH, and you would definitely thank me for giving this platform for you. Okay, I'm so very confident on that. Um, okay, so the next question. Uh, So Anisha is asking, so how much more should I get to get into Sir JJ College of Architecture in boards as well, in NATA as well? Okay, so generally, so as per my understanding, Sir JJ College of Architecture, they are taking the JE paper 2 scores. Okay, not the NATA scores. You can cross check with them once. So if you are considering JJ, so generally what happens is 50% of NATA score and 50% of your board score. So in boards for these kind of schools, you should be getting at least 85 plus, minimum 85 plus. I have seen a lot of students getting 90 plus. Okay. And in your NATA score, you should be scoring at least 150 plus for getting to colleges like JJ, CEPT Ahmedabad, etc. Okay. So Leah have also already answered this question. Best technique to score marks in mathematics. Snigdha, sir, can you explain the Karnataka Hyderabad quota in Karnataka and from Hyderabad? Snigdha, this is a little out of scope for what we are trying to do in this seminar. So I would suggest please get in touch with one of our counselors and they would help you out on that. Okay. Sir, if I want to get into RV will my CET score matter? CET score does not matter. It's of no use. Only NATA and board scores. Sir, I'm giving NATA second time. So I'm giving class improvement in 12th board as well. Uh, will this create an issue while taking admission in college? No issue at all. Absolutely no issue, Anisha. So don't worry about that. Okay, so do your exams well and submit your latest scores to them. So that is all. Mukul is asking, sir, one has to choose between SPA Bhopal and NIT Bhopal. What will be better choice? Keeping a better future in mind, SPA Bhopal, SPA anywhere is always better than any other school. Very simple. Mukul, okay. Um, Shubham is JJ or Rachna, both are good. So I would give first preference to JJ and second preference to Rachna. Okay, Rutrika is asking how is evaluation done in NATA and JEE paper 2 for sketch particularly? Good question, Rutrik. I would like to refer you this particular sheet, right? So you can see this 3D composition. You see these parameters like wow factor, 3D composition, shades and shadows, textures, drawing skill, perspective correctness, neatness and clarity, appropriateness of the sketch, relevant elements or objects, creative ability. So these are the parameters they choose to evaluate your sketches on not a, on for the drawing part. So if you want to have access to these sketches, please log on to natasketches.com and you can have access to all of these questions. Okay, Ritvik? All right. So Shivani is asking how to answer correctly for paper folding questions, non-verbal reasoning during the entrance exam. So there are certain tips and tricks, and it actually takes a lot of time to answer these kind of questions explained because it requires your using of your both left brain and right brain, and we have to train you how to use both left brain and right brain. Okay, so one simple tip I can give you is you can just draw a simple doodle, okay, and every time you unfold, you can actually mark those circles, those dotted lines on the other half wherever you are unfolding it, so that you can actually see, visualize how a completely unfolded picture would look like. So you can make use of the simple drawings and mirror those drawings around the axis to understand the question. All right. Okay. Fine. So, uh, how to do architecture course in IITs? It is a very difficult path to do architecture course in IITs. So the path is you have to clear IIT JEE paper 1 mains and then you have to clear advanced and you should have got a rank below 8,000 and then you have to take architecture aptitude test at the respective institutes and then clear that and then you get an opportunity to study in IIT Roorkee or IIT Kharagpur. Okay, so this is a very cumbersome way of doing it. Only very few students who want to do in IIT, they are actually preparing for IIT entrance exams, and then they did not get the field of specialization they want to join, and then they see architecture and then they join. So that is a route. Okay, so that very few drawings go into that. Okay. So, Ritvik, you're again asking what was your
question about Ritwik. How is the evaluation done? So I have shown you. So the website name is natasketches.com. Okay, I'll just type that in. natasketches.com. So please go through that website to understand how to evaluate those questions. Okay. Uh, So Anushka is asking how to submit my drawing for evaluation. So Anushka, currently this service is provided for the registered students of DQ Labs. So those students will have to follow a particular method of sending sketches. If you are a registered student, so please consult your respective counselors. They will help you to do that. So once we have this feature uploaded on DQH, it becomes very simple. Anybody can upload these questions in a very simple format, and it can be evaluated by the professionals. Okay, so till that point, you'll have to wait. Those who are not registered. Okay, so Anushka, you're a registered student. So what you have to do is I'm sending this email. So I'm sending you this email ID privately to you, sketch evaluation at dqlabs.in. So please send your sketches into that and please write which batch, which center you're going and give those details along with your phone number and they will be evaluated. Okay. So Sagar, how to talk to the counselors? Please call upon 9591001000. Okay, I'm sending this number to everybody. Please call upon that number, and the counselors will attend you. Okay, right. Can I be an online student in DQ Labs? Absolutely, you can be an online student on DQ Labs. We have many courses running online, offline, and we also provide only study material. In fact, if you go to the DQ Edge portal, I'll just show you that. All right. So if you let us say just open it in incognito, edge.dqlabs.in. If you are interested to buy only the study material, online study material, I'll show you where you can go. Just go to this pricing on DQ Edge. Okay, and you have various pricing options. So select the course that you're attempting, NATA or JEE, and you can also select the year, and you can select the kind of test that you want. You can only go for learn or take a test or a combination of both, where you get a good percentage off. Okay, and the score for this particular package will be valid for 2019. If you're a 2020 student, you can also look into that. Okay, so apart from these study materials, we'll also be having marathon online sessions where the entire syllabus will be quickly finishing and revising within 7 to 10 classes. So these marathon sessions will be starting in another 1 week. Dion will be sharing those details onto you. All right. Okay. So that's about that. Uh, Vinayak, yes, we are going to get this drawing examination feature on DQH. Our technical team is working on it. Yeah, it's a fantastic feature where other students can also rate and experts also can rate and suggestions also be given, okay, on the uploaded drawings. So it's a fantastic feature. You can make use of that. It will be available in next 15 to 20 days probably. All right. So, so on. So somebody is asking JJ College of Mumbai or CEPT Ahmedabad. Nikita, my option for you will be CEPT Ahmedabad. If you get into CEPT Ahmedabad, please go ahead and join there. It's a fantastic school. All right. All right. So in the learn part, if you click on the design sketching, in fact, all the drawing related stuff that you should be knowing is all put up here, like perspective, 2D composition, 3D composition, human figure drawing, along with the videos. For example, if you go to 2D composition, we have examples, 2D graphic examples, 2D composition examples, along with the videos, right? So these are the 2D graphic examples, and if you go to 2D composition, um, you actually see a question, how it can be answered, and a live demo of how that question can be answered. This is a beautiful thing. You can see a time lapse of all these questions being answered so that you can follow them and replicate them. Once you replicate, you understand the process, then you can start creating on your own. These are all the time lapse videos as well. All right. So we have a very good information on this platform which you can always use. Okay, so similarly for every sketch there is a video, and there are also videos for human figure drawing and shading, shadowing, texturing. Okay, for example, basic mannequin study, foreshortening of human figures. Foreshortening is very, very important for NATA entrance exam, because they may ask a question like, okay, imagine you are an ant walking on a table. There are 5 adults sitting and eating dinner. So draw what you see as an ant. For this, foreshortening is very important. For example, here you see a sketch of for a question like you're an ant walking on a laptop, an adult sitting and working, draw what you see. So this is an example of foreshortening of that video. Okay, so and all these are done using basic simple shapes. You don't have to be a great artist to replicate all this kind of stuff. It's all based on logic. If you are logically strong, you can answer them very easily. All right. So the same question, foreshortening of laptop in multiple ways. Okay, for example, laptop 2, laptop 3. Okay, imagine you're an ant inside a fridge. Somebody is taking a packet of juice from it, so draw what you see. Okay, so foreshortening of a person walking. Okay, so a boy catching a butterfly. Imagine you're a butterfly. All right, so all these human figure drawings, sketching, 2D composition, 3D composition, all of them in terms of videos are presented here for you to practice. Okay, so this is a landmine of information. Okay, so no person, no coaching center in India is providing something like that. And in fact, we are doing this because we are really passionate and we are designers ourselves, and we want to create a dent in the field of education. So that is the reason we are building this platform. We are giving exclusive content for architecture, fashion, and design entrance exams, and we would want you to make use of these very nicely. Okay, so Anisha, we have centers in many cities. Okay, I don't know where you are from. We also have online courses. Okay, so we are present physically and we are present online. Through online, we attend to students even from UAE, from Dubai, who wants to take up these kind of courses. All right, so we are majorly present in Bangalore, Mangalore, Pune, Chennai, and Thrissur. We have physical centers there, and we attend to all the students across all over India through online. All right, so I hope all your questions are answered, and I hope I have given you a direction in terms of how to prepare, what to prepare, and how you can utilize DQH for your preparation to speed the process up. Okay, so any questions you have, please feel free to ask, and I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Dion. He's gonna take it over. Okay, all right.
Right. Thank you, Umesh. I'll take over the session from here. Now, let me see. Okay. Yeah. So the idea of this round of the webinar is to show you all what DQ Edge is and how you can utilize DQ Edge to the maximum. Yeah, and how you can utilize DQ Edge to the maximum. Just a second. Okay.
So that
Okay. 1 second. Looks like we are having some technical issues. Yeah. So, right. Now, the idea of this platform is to help you firstly prepare well, create your strategy to prepare well, and then once you prepare well, um, to prepare well and revise in a short span of time. Now, what we'll do is, let me start from basics. So, um, when you enter the system, just 1 second. Let me just log in as a user. So you just need to put in either your Google sign-in details, or you sign in using Google, through or through Facebook. And I've got a student account here as a test account. And so what you would see is this: when you come onto the platform, the first page that you come onto would be the landing page or the My Courses page, which is here. Over here, you have the option to select whichever courses you're trying for. So we'll click on Let's Begin. And this is how you enter into your first page. You have the option of going to learn, or you have the option of going to take a test. Okay. Now, I'm not going to repeat everything because a lot of this has been discussed already. But what I'm going to do is how you can explain how you can use DQ Edge very qualitatively. Okay, so say you go to take a test first. You can choose which makes you feel better. You could either go to learn or take a test. I would suggest starting off with take a test. You can try this All India mock test. Okay, and when you take this mock test, what we would like you to see is there's both the section 1, which is the aptitude section, and section 2, which is the drawing section. Okay, try and stick within the time limit given to you. Here, both is a 1.5 hours, or it should be less than that.
both.
Yeah.
Go to the
So this is 1 hour, 1.5 hours for both the questions. Okay. So you can click the questions and see it here. And even once you see the question, you can get your question evaluated by sending your sketch into this email address given here. But the main point is that you need to stay within the time limit and ensure that you do whatever you can within the time limit. And even if it goes bad, no problem. Send in your drawing, get that evaluation done, and then take it from there. Okay. Now, what I want to show you about the aptitude part of it, and which is unique about DQ Edge, is this cognitive analytics, right? So the cognitive analytics is the most important aspect of DQ Edge. And using cognitive analytics, we will tell you how you can prepare a strategy within 45 days. Okay. Now, just to give you an overview, what I am going to do is I'm going to open my my admin account. I've got an admin account over here. So I will go to my admin account and show you what I see. Okay, now I can go into this. We have a slightly slower internet connection today, so just bear um, with the delays. Okay, yeah. So the main thing is, this is what I want you to see. Okay, all of you will be able to see your progress, but what I need you to see is this. In the NATA test, there are 341 different topics which have either come before, or at least three of them have come before, and another 40 topics are experimental questions. Now these 40 topics are questions that which we have predicted questions can come from these topics, and that's why we put them in there. These are experimental topics, okay, and there are about 300 actual topics where questions have come from. So this is the beauty of this platform, where you actually know exactly how many topics are there and how many you have finished studying. You can also get a small little graph of the spider graph, depending on the topics that you've studied, how much you have covered. Okay, so as you proceed, as you go along, you need to fill up the spider graph, and you can make out all these subjects which you've either done or yet to do. Now this gives you an overview of NATA in the first place, how much you need to study, and you can plan accordingly. Now considering today is the 19th of November and the exam is on the 20th of January. So you have exactly 60 days to get yourselves up to speed. What we do recommend is that you finish all these 340 topics in the next 30 days, which means about 11 or 12 topics per day. So that to do that, you will need to dedicate at least 3 to 4 hours towards NATA preparation or your JEE2 preparation over the next 1 month. If you are able to do this within 1 month, you would have covered the entire portion in 1 month, and you can use the remaining month just to revise. Okay, but like I said, each of you has different constraints, and you all may not be able to take this at the same time, or may not be able to finish. So use your discretion, to use your flexibility to plan accordingly. Now, once you know that you need to cover 341 topics, all these 341 topics are present in the learn section. Okay. For example, you can go to architecture awareness, or let me put it this way. What you need to see is that there are 6 subjects. Okay. Now consider DQ Edge as a book. Okay. A lot of you have been asking which book do I refer, which book do I refer. So what we say, this is your book. Okay. Um, so in this book you have different subjects like mathematics, architecture awareness 1, 2, visual spatial ability, mental ability, analytical reasoning, and English. So there are 6 subjects in addition to design sketching. Okay, so 7 subjects. Now, what happens is each of these subjects have various chapters underneath them or in them. Okay, so you can actually consider these as 6 books or 7 books, actually, more than this. Okay, so you have each book has multiple chapters, and then you click on each chapter, say famous architects and their work. Someone asked, how do I prepare for various architects, to know about each architect that's available, that's what they've done. Okay, so while this loads, let me take a few questions. Some of the questions are: is it too late to start with maths? if I'm appearing for the Jan exam. No, Shubham Moge, no. It's never too late to start. What you can do is use the DQ Edge platform um, to plan well and prioritize. Focus on the top topics that you need to study next. Okay, and just focus on that. You'll be able to do well in a short span of time. Now, for example, I was saying, you have 6 or 7 subjects. In each subject, you have multiple chapters like this basic concepts, and you have multiple chapters. So you have basic concepts here, and all the chapters have basic concepts. Now, as you go through this, what I need you to do is click on this button right down at the bottom. It says mark as done. Okay, so as you click on that, you'll see your points increasing. Okay, um, over the next 10 minutes, I will give you an entire strategy on how you can crack JEE paper 2 in 45 days. So please follow these instructions carefully. You need to mark as done, and as soon as you mark that, 2 things happen. Number one is you get points. Number two, it changes to completed. Okay. Then go to your next chapter, which is here on the right hand side at the bottom of the screen. Go to the next topic. So you'll see some examples, some kind of example questions. Mark as done, and go to the next topic. So these are basically the concepts of what types of questions will come, and then you mark as done, and you can click on this artists and their architects and their work. So now you can proceed. Now, for example, Frank Lloyd Wright. You'll have something about him, something about his projects, and some information regarding his key projects. Okay, so all this will help you prepare extremely well for the exam, and all this kind of information is very beautiful, and you'll get access to all of this information. So mark as done and go to the next topic. Okay, so you can keep doing this to for every single topic that is there. For all the 341 topics that are there in DQH, you can use this. Alright, so there is, if you see, so once you're done with these topics, with the learn topics, then you can go to take a test. And an interesting aspect in the take a test section of DQH, let me put it out there for you, and I'm waiting for it to load. Yes. Okay. So here you have past year actual questions and all India mock tests. Okay. You have a series of 10 mock tests, all India mock tests, and you can compare your scores with people from with your peer group all across India. Okay. Now, when you go to the past year actual questions, one thing important to note is that we have gone through all the past year question papers, and we have separated all the topics, all the questions topic wise. Okay, so you will see general knowledge set 1, set 2, architectural awareness set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, and as you go down, you will notice that you have various topics, and how the exam, and you can prepare yourself topic wise based on the past year question papers. Okay, so this is something which is very interesting, and it will help you out a lot. But more importantly, what I want you to understand is cognitive analytics, the concept of cognitive analytics, which we have in our testing platform. Like I was saying earlier, there's a drawing section and an aptitude section. If I go click on continue from last attempt, cognitive analytics, please understand what this is thoroughly. What it means is answering techniques matter. These analytics will help you identify those questions that require your attention in order to boost your confidence, speed, and likelihood of success. Okay, so let me explain to you what this is. You click on continue. Let me continue from my last question. Okay, so say if in a certain language council, or let me go to question 10, something that I've not answered before. Okay, if 4 P's in capital is equal to 6 Q's in capital is equal to R 10 R's in capital, then out of the total profit of 4650, R will receive question mark. What is the answer? Okay. Now, does anyone know the answer to this? Can anyone answer this question? For those of you who are asking questions, please continue asking your questions. In about 5 minutes, I'll finish explaining to you about DQ Edge, and you can take it from there. Okay, then I will address your questions. Anyway, so let's move along. Now, say I have absolutely no clue how to answer this question, so I will just click maybe 700. Now, the important thing to see is the submit button. When I clicked on 700, the submit button broke up into 3. So it's asking me how did I solve this question, and I have absolutely no clue. So I clicked on random choice. Okay. Now, the next question says which of the following defines the equation, and then there's a large equation there. So, say I actually use my logic and try and come up with a solution. Now, again, I want you to have a look at the submit button. Let me click on this and say this is the answer, and I used my formulae to come down to this answer. Okay. So, an arcade essentially is a series of curved structures called what? Can anyone answer this? Does anyone have any clue what the answer is? You can type arches. Okay, so Rakshita Singhi says arches. Okay. So yes, so Rakshita, let's go with knowledge. Okay, fantastic. Now let's go to the next question. If A is a point 1, 6, 3 and B is the foot of a perpendicular, say this question. Say, for example, I know it cannot be 1, it cannot start with a 1, it starts with probably sorry, it cannot start with a 3, it will probably be one of these choices, and I would go with this one. Okay, so I've used the process of elimination to come down to that. Now, this is the most important aspect of this platform. This is what we have applied for a patent for, and this is what gives you your analytics. Okay, so if you answer this honestly and understand the difference between knowledge, elimination, and randomly, then what will happen is um, on the front end it'll tell you yes, you got this answer right or wrong, or you've not answered this question. But on the back end it'll tell you, you know what, in architecture awareness you are answering with knowledge, but you're getting the answers wrong, so you need to relook into this. On the other hand, in algebra you're getting the answer, you're answering with knowledge and you're getting the answers right, so you do not need to study on algebra anymore. Focus on the next topic. And this is the most important thing, because what it actually does is the system has identified which are the most important topics for NATA and JEE paper 2. Based on that, it'll tell you what to prioritize. Okay, for example, for me, it's telling me. So for me, do you see this this prompt over here? It's called statistics and probability. Yeah. So for me, it's saying, Dion, focus on this topic, and then only once you're thorough with this, go to the next one. Okay. So each individual will get a different strategy based on what your preparation levels are, and based on how you're answering your questions. So remember, all of us will get different prompts, and the prompting is not only based on the topics which are priority for the exam, which have a high weightage in the exam and high probability of coming, but it's also based on each individual student's ability to learn and answer these questions. Okay, so take this very seriously. Use this. Right in the beginning of my talk, I told you that there are 341 topics to cover. Use this to finish off the priority topics which you need to finish off within the next 10 days, and you will do well. Okay, so that's something that you have to know about very well. Now, the other thing is we get a lot of questions about how do I prepare for general knowledge, architecture awareness, things like this. Now, this is where I want you to see general knowledge. There is a daily quiz that happens that we put out every day. Okay, this is very important for all of you to actively participate in every day. The questions change every day, so over the next 60 days you will get 60 sets of 10 questions. So that is 600 different questions over the next 60 days. All will be relevant, all will be very, very important for you. Once the questions come in, these questions will not be repeated again. You will not find these questions anywhere else, and that is why it is very important for you to take these questions immediately. Okay? Be serious about this, and it will help you out. Yeah, and that's about the platform. Then let me tell you the other salient features of the platform. You have the Discuss tab, where you can post a question over here. You can click on Ask a Question. In case you're stuck anywhere, just post a question here. Someone would answer the question for you. Okay, someone from DQ Labs will answer the question for you. And to the top right hand side of the page, there is a question on analytics. So here, right now, you can see some information for how we've answered questions. Then you can see articles written here. There are various articles. I would highly recommend that you go through the um, last year's topics as well, articles as well, because there are a lot of tips on how students last year have cleared the exams, and they've helped. For those of you who are also trying for colleges in design and fashion, you can click on this apply to colleges here. Please do remember that there's a list of colleges which you can go through, and some of these have an architecture program as well. Jindal School of Art and Architecture. They have a very interesting program on architecture as well as built environment. It's something that you can have a look at. Click on the website link to see what happens. Okay, to see a little more about the college, and it will give you some information. Okay. Um, yeah. So I think that's about it. So in this entire webinar, what we have covered is how to get a strategy to crack your entrance exam in 45 days. Um, a plan for that works for you, a plan that works within your constraints of time and effort, and balancing your 12th board exams as well, covering topics in terms of priority. I will come down um, to the next aspect of understanding DQH. I've explained to you about learn how topics are organized, how you can benefit when you go through each of those topics. You can take tests, and under tests there are mock tests as well as past year question papers. I've explained to you the answer input system. I've also explained Discuss, where you can post your questions, articles where you can read tips and tricks from what we've done last year, and also showed you how to apply to colleges. Now, coming down to the next steps. Okay. Next steps are very important. If you decide to purchase DQ Edge, you can just use this code GET70. You may get some kind of promotional offers. Some students, yeah. So these offers change periodically depending on the time that is remaining for the exam. So try it out. But right now, immediately during this webinar, immediately now you can try it out and see what happens. Okay. You can also sign up for 9-day marathon classes where we will cover the entire portions online within 9 days. Okay. Very important session to participate in. And for those of you who would like to participate in this, we will send out communication regarding the cost of these 9-day marathon online classes. This would be charged. The 9-day marathon classes would come to you at a cost because we need specialized faculty, and we need this to be done in a very structured manner and done within 9 days. Okay. Alternatively, those who are interested can and who are not students of DQ Labs can of course attend our crash courses at all our centers. Please take down the phone numbers if you're interested. Please take down these phone numbers. Give us a call and discuss with us on the pricing. We would like to understand your constraints while we chat with you. Okay. Now, right now, let me come down to the question and answers. Um, does DQ Labs conduct crash courses? Yes. So crash courses are conducted both at our physical location. We have 3 locations in Pune, four in Bangalore, one each in Chennai, Mangalore, and Thrissur. So you could join us for our physical crash courses, which is very good. We have some excellent faculty at all these locations. We've had excellent ranks, and students have got into the top schools from all locations. Okay. Um, you could also sign up for the online webinars, the 9-day marathon classes, things like that. Um, are you guys planning to make an app for this? Yes. Currently, this DQ Edge is mobile friendly. You can access it through your mobile phone. We do not have an app for it yet, but that's something that we're working on. It will take us time, but for now, you can just access it through your mobile phone. Okay. Um, Let me take a few more questions. Snigdha, how many questions one should attempt minimum in JEE mains paper 2? Well, I think those questions have been answered by Umesh earlier. So let me go down. Take some more questions. Anisha, how to get full course details of DQ Labs? Please call us on 959 100 1000. I'm not sure which city you're in, but you could give us a call and we could help you out. Okay. Um, okay, let me see some more questions. How is evaluation done in NATA and JEE paper 2 sketch particularly? Um, well, they have various parameters for which they do it. When we open our we are constantly developing our system, and we'll be developing a system to show you how sketches are evaluated. In fact, what you can do immediately is go to natasketches.com and see a lot of evaluations there. Okay. How to submit my drawing for evaluation? You can send it to sketchevaluation at dqlabs.in, and we could do that. Okay. So can you create a WhatsApp group for students where students can send in their questions and discussions can be made? Of course. What you can do is you can send us a WhatsApp message to 959 100 1000, and we will add you to the WhatsApp groups. Okay. What are the topics to be covered in this webinar? Can I be an online student for DQ Labs? Of course, you can be an online student for DQ Labs. Please call us and find out the details. When are you going this? When are you going to get this drawing examination feature on DQ Edge? Vinayak will be getting it soon enough. Our team is working on it, but I can't give you a commitment right now. But hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Okay, please check within the next 2 weeks, and it should be done by then. Okay. When is NATA being conducted for the second time? NATA is probably in June or July for the second time. During the evaluation of drawing, which will be seen as expected to be the most present in the drawing. During the evaluation of drawing, which will be seen or expected the most to be present in the drawing. Well, they're looking at technical aspects of your drawing, so your technicals have to be good, your details have to be good. The all aspects will be evaluated separately, and you'll get scores for all aspects of the drawing section. So keep practicing. Make sure that your drawing is always good. Is there any discount or JEE of the NATA package for students? Um, Okay, what are some good colleges in Pune? Um, just 1 second. Okay, during the evaluation of drawing, which will be seen or expected? Okay, I've covered that. Is there any discount in the JEE NATA package for students attending the webinar? Rakshita, you can just use the code that I've put here and just try it out and see what happens. Which is the best online? Which is best, online course or center? Shivani Sivakumar. Well, we definitely think that uh, that you can choose. I'm not sure which city you're in, but in case you're in one of the cities where DQ Labs is located, well and good. You're most welcome to come down to our physical centers. We have excellent faculty at all centers, and in addition to the classroom coaching that you get at all centers, you also get online coaching as well, which our faculty from Bangalore will teach you. So irrespective whether you join a physical coaching center of TQ Labs or the online coaching, you will still get the best mentoring possible from multiple areas. Okay. Um, is it too late to start with maths if appearing for the Jan exam? No, it's not too late. You're well in time. Just follow what the prompting of DQ Lab, DQ Edge, whatever it prompts you, please follow that and go through with it. You will be able to complete the portion in time. Finish it off within the next 30 days. Okay. What are some good colleges? Nikita. Nikita has asked, what are some good colleges in Pune? What I do recommend is that you give our Pune center a call. The number is displayed here. Please give them a call and discuss with them which the good centers in Pune are. That would be the best bet for you. In fact, they can also tell you about the other colleges in Maharashtra. On DQ Labs, it's just that just we ourselves we do and solve questions, but we need a mentor to see our work, how that can be done on DQ Labs, like things happening in classes. Okay, Anisha, like we said, when you sign up for online classes, you can you will have live interactions with our faculty just the way we're having right now, and they will correct your drawing, evaluate your drawings, and give you feedback. Do they ask questions from general knowledge about things not related to architecture and designing? Umesh, I'll probably require your inputs on this. Do they ask questions from general knowledge about things not related to architecture and designing? No, in NATA and JEE paper 2, most of the questions are relevant to architecture and design. Okay. Um, Thanks for this DQ Edge. It's pretty well structured. Thanks a lot, Vinayak. We love the appreciation. If you like this, please do recommend this to your friends, your juniors, your seniors. Tell them that we are using this. We need your support, and we are very happy when you use this and use this platform effectively. Thanks a lot. Um, Akila wants to know about SPA Delhi. SPA Delhi is extremely challenging to get into. It is one of the best colleges in India. It is one of the oldest in India. So very challenging to get in. If you do get into that, please take it. Um, the faculty is great, and more than the faculty, because of the level of competition to get in, the your peer group will be excellent, your seniors, your juniors, all of those will be excellent. So that's in a course like architecture. You not only learn from your faculty, you learn a lot from your peers, your juniors, your seniors, everybody. So very important that you get into good school. Okay. Is there any minimum marks in each section? Are there sectional cutoffs in JEE mains and NATA?
They're pretty low. For mathematics, it's like
Well, let me start off with NATA. With NATA, there is a so last year they had sectional cutoffs. Um, the cutoff for drawing out of 80 was 20. The cutoff for theory out of theory and maths put together out of 120, the cutoff was 30. So, but even then, you still needed a minimum score of 70 in total to clear. So even if you got say 35 and 35 in each, you would need, or say 35 and 30. Although you've cleared the sectional cutoffs, you would still not clear because you've not got your 70. So that was the procedure last year. This year it's not very clear yet. They've not. I've gone through the brochure. They've not announced any minimum cutoff yet. Okay, but that they will announce once the exams are over. Is there any okay CEPT or Anna University which is best for architecture? Without doubt, CEPT is the best. Okay, CEPT is based in Ahmedabad. You have an NID there, an NIFT there. It's a very creative space to be in. So will be nice for you to be there at CEPT. SPA Vijayawada is relatively new, but it comes with the SPA brand. It comes with the SPA backing. So again, a very good choice to take. Is Anna University good for B.Arch? Yes, Anna University is good, but I would recommend that you contact our Chennai center to get more details on that. Is Chandigarh University of Chandigarh University good for architecture? Yes, the answer is yes. It is extremely good. Um, um, Again, a very sought after college. Okay, CCOA. Yeah. So, in fact, there are very committed a lot of faculty over there. So that's a good thing. Okay. Nikita, I've spoken about CEPT. Webinars are really helpful. Thank you very much. Great effort from DQ Labs. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Please give us feedback if you like. Sure, Anisha. Looking forward to having you with us. Do SPA Bhopal campus have campus placements? Mukul Mahajan, you're asking a good question. You're asking a question about placements. Now, placements are generally very sketchy. None of the architecture schools really push for placements. However, what happens is the architecture schools have a 4-year program in the school, and the fifth year is outside where you do an internship, and most students get placed during their internship at the location where they do their internships at. So definitely something very good. So worry about the placements later. Worry about how you need to build on your portfolio and do well. You can get in the top school, and you can sit and do nothing about it, or you can get into a very mediocre school and work on a good portfolio. Your portfolio speaks volumes about you, and that's what will get you a job, more than the college brand name. Okay. Okay, Akila, I hope you've understood. You said that I'm not very clear. Okay, is Wadiyar College of Architecture uh, good for B.Arch? Yes. Wadiyar College of Architecture, I have personally been there. I have visited the school. There are a very committed lot of architects who started this, and they are practicing architects who've started this. So um, they have good industry connects to get people to the college. Um, like we said, since ideally a college in a rural area, or not in a metro city, is always you always worry or wonder whether they're able to attract good guest faculty, whether they're able to attract good opportunities. But Wadiyar has managed to do that. Okay. Is Anant National University the best for architecture? Well, Anant National University is definitely a good option for you to consider. They are extremely committed to good architecture education, and even those who are considering Anant University for design, we would highly recommend that you try for this. It's a new college. The architecture program has been existing for the last 4 years or 5 years, I'm guessing. I can't remember clearly, but their architecture program has been there for some time. The design program is new. We definitely think that there's a uh, good set of people driving this college. So I would recommend Anant University. Akila, I hope you've been able to get what I've said. I'm sorry if the audio wasn't very clear, but we'll try and work on this sometime. Okay. So Rakshita, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What we'll have to do is we'll have to end this webinar. It's already past time, 10 minutes past time. So we'll end this webinar here. One last question I'll answer. I'm really confused. Right, there's someone who says, I'm really confused choosing between Wadiyar and BMS. Can you share your opinion on this? This is a very, very personal choice for each individual student. My recommendation is that you visit both colleges. So, what happens is DQ Labs, as part of our initiatives, once you are done with your visits to your exams, see, the priority time is your exams. Your focus is on exams. Once you are done with that, we will organize visits to various schools, not only in Bangalore, outside Bangalore. Last year we've taken our students to Wadiyar School just to have a look at the place. It's very nice, very interesting. We would recommend that you'll participate in these activities. Okay. Shivani, how do you balance board exam preparation and NATA or JEE mains preparation? The answer is simple. You need to be extremely focused in what you're doing. Focus on, you cannot neglect your board exams. You need to do well in that. As we are approaching the exams, JEE paper 2 exams coming up, what we recommend is that you do spend at least 3 to 4 hours a day on JEE paper 2 preparation for now. And we're hoping, and that's assuming you already prepared well for your 12 board exams. Okay, so right now is the time to scale up your effort into JEE paper 2. Focus on that for now. Use DQ Edge very well, and honestly, use those answer options well. Please understand the difference between those three answer options and then use that, because that will give you a good prompt on what topic to study next. You just need to study those few topics. Okay, and for those of you who are not able to sign up for DQH, please check with us. We give promo codes, and we push some emails and SMSs out for those who have not registered yet. We highly recommend that you make use of this platform. We put in a lot of effort to create this and make it as simple for you to prepare. We recommend that you do put in that effort. Okay. Thank you so much for participating in this workshop, and sorry, in this webinar. And please feel free to reach out to us. Again, you could either call us on any of these numbers or email us at info@dqlabs.in. We will be ending this webinar now. Okay. Thanks once again.